Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Arab Guru. I hope all of you are doing well. It's me, Rahima Babayeva, and I'm a graduate from the University of Aberdeen. I have finished my Master of Science in Petroleum Engineering, and I am going to be your moderator for today's session on behalf of Arab Oil and Gas Academy. Today's webinar is going to be about develop and enhance personal and organizational leadership skills course by Mohamed Elshoura. He is a believer in change who is passionate about exploring thought-provoking challenges that mobilize new skills, abilities, and knowledge. A diversified organizational development, learning, and talent management professional with more than 15 years of dedicated experience in designing and implementing corporate strategies, exploring top talents within an organization, corporate learning, workshop facilitation, curriculum development, and executive coaching with a variety of corporates, cultures, and industries. Government institutions, multinational corporations, oil and gas, tourism, hospitality, education, telecommunication, banking, automotive, fashion, and retail. Mohammed has also worked with senior level leaders to align corporate strategy and to implement process frameworks and improvements to drive human capital growth for organizations. He has also been working closely with line managers to achieve goals and objectives and with the HR teams to establish systems and learning solutions to manage local and regional projects. A Bachelor of Political Science from the American University in Cairo, a holder of Master degree in Organizational Psychology from Liverpool, John Morris University, a professional certified coach from the International Coaching Federation with dual specialization, executive life coach and certified manager from the Institute of Certified Professional Managers at James Madison University, a certificate of training and occupational learning from the Institute of Training and Occupational Learning at UK, and a leadership diploma from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, facilitated and designed more than 200 trainings workshops. Now, before starting today's session, I would like to mention that you can ask your question from question and answers part, and 3 to 5 questions will be answered by Dr. Mohamed. Let's welcome him, Mr. Mohamed. We are delighted to be here.
Thank you so much, Rahima. Thank you so much. I am also delighted, and it's really a great pleasure to be part of this interesting, amazing initiative. I've been following Dr. Ahmed and his posts on the group and Facebook, and I've been recognizing that he is doing really a great job. And I was really happy when he asked me to take part of this initiative, because I really wanted to be part of this great initiative. So thank you again, and thank you everybody for attending. Usually I love the interaction. I love asking questions and getting answers. But in this lecture, I will be kind of lecturing. And during this lecture, there will be some poll or questions. And after I finish, your questions will be most welcomed. So please make sure to take notes and write down the questions that you wish to ask. And even if time is not enough to cover all your questions, maybe I can get the remaining questions and answer them and get back to you again. So welcome again. Developing personal and organizational leadership skills. Well, you know, this topic never gets old. You will find people getting trained on leadership 20, 30 years ago and today, and I'm sure like 20, 30 years in the future also there will be people having leadership trainings. So why do you think this topic never gets old? Because it deals with everything in our lives, in our personal life, in our practical life, organizational life. How do we lead ourselves? How can we be leaders? How can others perceive us as leaders? What is a leader? How does a leader look like? What are the features? What are the traits? How do leaders behave? What make a leader a leader? Okay, what are the misconceptions? What are the myths about being a leader? What are the false beliefs that a lot of people believe about leadership. So we will be discussing and tackling all these topics in this workshop. And I will also go through the different main topics, major topics that we will be covering throughout the upcoming four lectures, including today's lecture. Okay, and I want to start with the first question, which is the historical question. Okay, we've been asking this question for ages. I know many of you have heard about this question before. So are leaders born or made? Can you please answer this question? What do you think? Okay, great, great. Okay, so it's 81% chose made and 19% chose born. Okay, great, great. Okay, I'm really happy with these answers. Well, the true answer is both. Although I totally agree with the percentage that you decided. Yes, it's 81, almost 81% born, and it's like 20 to 30%. I'm sorry, it's like 81% made and 20 to 30% born. That's why, what is the name of the course? Leadership, enhancing, developing leadership skills. What is the meaning of skill? What does a skill mean? Yes, exactly. It is something that you can learn and develop. And this is the good news about leadership. And this is the good news about anything that you can describe as a skill. The good news about leadership is that, yes, you can learn it, you can develop it, you can enhance it. Some people are born leaders. Yes, exactly. Some people are born with leadership traits. Yes, exactly. But this does not mean that those who were not born with leadership traits cannot be leaders. This does not mean at all. There are many people, there are many examples of people who were not naturally born leaders, having leadership traits by birth, but they were able to work on their leadership skills, develop their leadership skills, and they became afterwards very famous leaders. So yes, leaders are made. Leadership is a skill that you can enhance and develop. It's okay if you were naturally born a leader, but it's not a problem if you're not naturally born a leader. You can develop leadership skills. You know what? You know what exactly is developed, or what is exactly is initiated by birth? It's the charisma. There are people who are gifted, people who are naturally, when you see them, you just want to listen to them. You feel a mysterious attraction. You feel that when they speak, just people become silent and start listening. So it's a gift. Yeah, it's a gift that some people are born with it. Although, and as we will be discussing and going through leadership, you will find that the what we call charisma, we actually give a lot of weight. Some people give a lot of weight to charisma, believing that charisma is leadership. No, this is not right. Okay. Sometimes charisma is important, and sometimes it's dangerous as well, because sometimes you may be deceived by charisma. You can follow the leader towards a direction that is not logical, that is not right, that is not appropriate. But because of his charm, because of his charisma, he's leading you to this direction. Okay, I'm not saying it's not good. It is definitely good, and it's a gift, but it's not everything. It's just a very tiny, small part of the big chunk of leadership. Okay, so hope everything is going well so far. I'll try not to go fast so that you can understand. Okay, and again, I don't need to remind you. If you have questions, please write them down. Our second question now. What is the one word that best describes leadership? What is the one word that best describes leadership? I almost answered this question. Okay, I was supposed to talk about charisma after this question. But anyways, so we have five choices: directing, controlling, empowering, task-oriented, charismatic. Okay, and most votes go to directing, and then empowering, and then task-oriented. Okay, no, charismatic, and then controlling. Okay, great, great, great. I'm really happy with empowering. Okay, yes, this is the right answer. And as for directing, taking a second place, we will have a talk. We will have a talk. It's yes and no. Okay, so we will discuss it now, discuss it further. You know what? Before proceeding with the different definitions of leadership and the book definitions, I just want to share with you my own personal definition of leadership that I usually mention in any leadership training. Okay, I believe that a true leader is someone who goes on vacation and switches off his cellular phone because he's so comfortable and he's so relaxed, making sure that everything at work will go appropriate without his presence. This is a good leader. So this is my own personal definition for leadership. Well, a true leader is not someone that you need to ask and you need to get back to every minute. Okay? A true leader is someone who is empowering people. You know, this word is really very precious. If I'm asked just one word equivalent to leadership, then it's empowerment. Okay? If a leader is doing the empowerment role in an appropriate way, okay, then he goes on vacation and he makes sure that people are empowered, people have autonomy, people can make decisions, people can implement all the tasks needed without getting back to him, because he was a good leader and he was able to teach. He was able to make these people learn their work and learn how to make decisions and learn how to overcome problems. So they are now empowered and they are responsible to work and to do whatever tasks required from them without him being in the picture. This is, I believe, everything about a good leader in from my humble perspective, from my humble point of view. So let's go to the next slide. And the next slide is actually about myths of leadership. What do you mean by myths of leadership? It's like some information that people believe leadership is, although leadership is not. Some misconceptions about leadership, stereotypes about leadership that need to be adjusted. Okay, so let's go one by one. Okay, first myths. Okay, legends. Okay, leadership are not legends, by the way. Leadership are just normal people. They go to work in the morning and get back in the evening to their homes, enjoy their lives, go on vacations, okay, have quality time with their families. So they're not necessarily legends at all, okay? So they are just leaders are not necessarily the figures that you see or the pictures that you see everywhere. When people talk about leaders, okay, those famous leaders like the Disney, and the one who created the KFC, and these, yeah, absolutely they are leaders. They are amazing role model leaders, although leaders can be just normal people like me and you. Okay, so next, leadership is a rare skill. This is absolutely not true. Okay, leadership is not rare. Each and every single one of us have a lot of leadership traits and skills, and you have to believe in this. Even if you were, okay, it is not related at all to your position. It's not related at all to your position in the organization chart. Even if you are a fresh grad, okay, you are a leader. You can have like 10 to 20 years of experience within an organization, and you can have authority, and you have a big title, and you can be a manager, but it's not necessarily a leader. Okay, and we will discuss this further again. Okay, so leadership does not have to do with authority and titles. Okay, it's a skill that you either have inside or not. Sometimes we go to a certain organization, and we found that there are people who are highly reliable and highly responsible, people who everybody go to ask and check whenever there's a problem, whenever there's an important decision that needs to be taken. And surprisingly, you find that these people are not those with the higher title or the highest titles within the organization. They're just like ordinary employee clerk level. Okay, so it is not linked with the title. It's definitely, it's critical. It's really critical when someone with a big title like a CFO, a CEO, but does not have leadership skills. This is really a big crisis. Uh, I have met some people with these traits, although, but it's really catastrophic when you have a big title without having the leadership skill. We will discuss examples later. Okay, very few people can lead. I could not get anyone to follow me. Okay, not necessarily, not necessarily. We have the concept when we hear the word leadership. We have the concept of whenever a leader is here, there should be followers. So, who said so? Not necessarily, not necessarily at all. The relationship between the leader and the people surrounding him or her, not necessarily a following relationship, okay? It can be a relation with mutual benefit, exchanging experience, exchanging ideas, or working to achieve a certain target or a certain goal. So it's not necessarily a person with followers. No, this is not the stereotype about leadership. This is not accurate. Okay, leaders are born, not made. We have already covered this. Leadership is natural ability. You either have it or not. This is absolutely not true. Effective leaders are charismatic. Charisma is fine. Charisma is good, although it's a very, very small part of the big iceberg. Okay, so if you don't have charisma, you can still be a leader. You can still be a great leader. Don't worry. Okay. Leaders are always popular people who tell funny jokes and really enjoy speaking groups. Partially, yes, but again, if you don't have this sense of humor, if you're not Mr. Popular, this does not mean also that you cannot be a leader. Okay? Because why we're saying this? Okay, you're just saying that charisma is not important, popularity is not important, sense of humor is not important. So what's important? What's a leader? A leader is someone who can empower people. Yes, I can empower people without my charisma. I can empower people without having a great sense of humor. I can empower people without being really very popular, but can empower people, add value to people, make them learn, delegate, delegate authority, delegate power, make them learn, make them achieve, okay, make them have their own autonomy, their own independence, their own freedom to make mistakes, okay? So it's not like we're not in a concentration camp, so I'm afraid to do any mistakes, so they will fire me, okay? If you're not doing right, if you're not doing mistakes, then you're not working. People who do not do mistakes, they do not work, they don't achieve anything. So you must do mistakes. And this is the freedom that a leader should provide to people they surrounding them, okay? Leadership exists only at the top. Absolutely, it's false, okay? As we just mentioned, it exists on all levels of the organization. CEOs and highly paid executives are your leader. It's not my job to steer the company, okay? And okay, whenever we provide, whenever we deliver a leadership training, we always listen, we always hear to this comment. Have you provided this training to our managers? Okay. Actually, we did not yet, but we are planning to do. And when we go and deliver the same training to their managers, so we listen to the same comment. Okay, okay, we know these information very well. I think our managers should know these words. Okay, we have actually delivered this training to all levels of the organization. Okay, so the problem is we always, many people, not all, not everyone, many people always believe that the problem is not here, is not inside me, okay? The problem is with the leader, okay? And it's not totally wrong, by the way. The role of the managers, that's why I was just telling you, people who have authority, people with big titles within an organization, if they lack leadership skills, the organization will definitely suffer. Yes, will suffer. But this does not mean that employees with lesser titles, clerk levels, should not have leadership skills. No, they must have leadership skills because, again, as I just mentioned, leadership is not only linked to titles. Okay, okay. Hope I'm not speaking fast. Hope you are catching up. Hope things are going fine and great. Okay, leaders control, direct. Okay, so yeah, here we come. So you mentioned in the previous question that leaders control. Well, to be honest, control and direction is a very old school leadership, okay? Yet it is considered leadership, although this is not my school that I have learned. The school that I have learned leadership from is not about directing, is not about power, is not about ordering, okay? We should only hear the word power in the gym when we are lifting weights, okay? We are not lifting weights, okay? We are an organization. So the ideal leadership style that I have learned and I prefer and I love to tell people in any training is the leadership style that is far from orders, far from control, okay? Let me rephrase it this way. I am your manager, okay? I am your manager, and I will tell you, I will give you orders to do 1, 2, 3. And you have to obey my orders because I am your manager And in the organization chart, I am on the top of you. If someone who does not have leadership skills and someone who knows that he doesn't have leadership skills, he's not a convincing person. He does not have, or he haven't learned enough tools to convince people, to teach people, to coach people. Then he will, the only generator, the only source of power in this case is my title. Because I know that I'm not a convincing enough. I know very well that me as a person is not convincing to you. And you look at me as like, I don't think you are convincing. Okay, so I know this. I know I'm not competitive enough. I know I'm not competent enough. So if I know that I am not competent enough, my only source and my only tool is to use my authority, to use my title in the business card. When it comes to a person who does have leadership skills, this person does not need to use his authority or title to convince you, because he knows how to. He knows how to run a dialogue. He knows how to communicate. He knows that he has enough personal traits that can make you convinced that doing this task or implementing this decision is for the good of you and him and the whole organization. So it's not like using power or using force. You have to do this and that. No. I am able to convince you. I'm able to share the decision with you. I'm able to teach you and coach you, okay? And when you are convinced that I understand what I'm saying, you will do it. Because I have skill, I have the skill, I have the tool, I have the leadership trait, okay, that will make you do the task happily, because you know what's in it for you and what's in it for the organization. Okay, okay. We will discuss this again later. Okay, here are like examples how leadership is important. Okay, so leadership is important. These are examples. Each year, as you may see here, examples. Each year, there's 1 million new businesses, startups. Okay, who fail, who close. Can you imagine? 60% stay after 1 year, 12% stay after 5 years, only 2 to 3% stay after 10 years. Can you imagine? 2 to 3% from 1 million startups stay after 10 years. You know why? You know why? Yeah, exactly. The lack of leadership. Believe me, it's about individuals. It's about you. Yeah, a company is a group of individuals. A university is a group of individuals. Any organization, an NGO, any kind of organization is a group of individuals. Okay, if you can enhance the leadership of this organization will automatically sustain and develop. Okay. Okay, so this is the map that we will be following. As I just mentioned, empowerment is the key word. Leadership equals empowerment. Empowerment is the synonym for leadership. Okay, so we will explore the concept of empowerment throughout the 4 lectures. How are we going to explore the word empowerment? There are actually 4 main pillars that create empowerment, and therefore effective leadership. What are those four main pillars? Okay, first, a vision. A leader is someone who should know where the organization is heading after 5 years. Again, a leader is someone who should know where we want to go. We want to go from the point A to the point B. Okay? How are we going to go from the point A to the point B? What are the tools needed, and how are we going to make our journey a successful one? Where are we going uh, within the organization in this same time next year? What are we required to achieve? What are the goals? What are the vision? What are the mission, the actions, the activities of the organization? Every single organization on earth was established to implement a certain objective, a certain mission. Okay? A leader should not get heavily involved in the execution and forget about the whole journey, the big picture. Where are we heading? And we will discuss it again further. Delegation, absolutely. Empowerment is, how can we achieve empowerment? We can never, ever achieve empowerment without delegation. I have authority. I am the one with the big title in the organization. Okay? A leader is not a Superman. Okay? We have a stereotype, we have a misconception about a leader is a Superman, you know? A Superman who achieves everything, does everything. He's like one man show. Okay? This person does everything. Okay? No, this is not leadership. A leader who is a person who successfully can delegate the authority, delegate the implementation of tasks, delegate the decision-making process. Okay, so the delegation is a very critical process. Okay, the third pillar is coaching. Okay, and this will be discussed, I think, next lecture or the one after. We hear this concept a lot these days, coaching. So why is coaching important, and how does it lead to empowerment? Very briefly, I will tell you why. Coaching, and against all the misconception about coaching, because I see now coaches, a lot of coaches in the market, you go to the coach and the coach tell you, okay, you are complaining about stress. Okay, you are complaining about stress in life, stress at work. Okay, so you go do 1 2 3 and you'll be amazing. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, pay him money, pay him his bill, and then you leave. This is absolutely not coaching. Coaching is not about telling you what to do, but coaching is about empowering you and leading you to reach your goals your own way, to reach your goals in the difficult way, through your own ideas, through your own thoughts, through your own thoughts. A coach does not force a certain solution. Okay, so we will learn how a manager or a CEO or how like employees, students, how can you be a coach and how you coach others and how coaching is empowering to others, because coaching does not give an easy solution. And finally, we will introduce the concept of emotional intelligence. How emotions affect leaders. How should leaders deal with emotions? Do emotions affect the overall organization culture, the overall organization effectiveness? This is what we are going to discover, because emotions are very important. Again, an organization is a group of individuals, not machines. So these individuals have hearts and have minds. You cannot leave your heart at your home before going to your university or going to your organization. So you will definitely carry a lot of emotions. And that's why this concept has gained a lot of importance in the past period, because people have to know how to deal with emotions at work, how to deal with their emotions at home, because this is part of me as a human being. Okay, so here is a comparison between the two different types, two different schools of leadership. On the right-hand side, you will find empowering leadership. On the left-hand side, you will find traditional management, okay? So if we go through traditional management, we will just discussing these two concepts. Traditional management, it's like more into directing, okay? If you go to empowering leadership, and this is our target, and this is what we want to learn, empowering leadership is developing and leading, not just directing and doing the task, okay? A traditional management style is the Superman style, okay? You get me the problem, you get me the question, I provide you the answer, because of course I know the answers of all the questions in the whole world, because I'm an amazing person, I am a Superman, okay? On the other hand, the empowering school or the empowering leadership school, we discuss the problems together. We facilitate the problem solving, okay? We throw questions, we think, we brainstorm. Okay, so over directing in the traditional management part, over directing and micromanagement. You know what happens if I micromanage people? If I micromanage people, I want them to do everything my way, to write the report exactly the way I will write it, to talk to the client exactly the way I talk to the client, to take the decision exactly as if I'm taking the decision. So in this case, I'm not empowering people. I'm creating clones of Mohamed Elshoura. You know what clones are? Yeah, smaller versions of Mohamed Elshoura. So I'm not just empowering them. I'm just creating clones. But if you think of empowerment, you're giving them independence and freedom to create and to invent. You can do it without me, okay? This is the traditional way, okay? The organization will close if I do not go to the organization, because I'm very important to the organization, okay? On the other side, you will find, okay, develop technical confidence. Yes, you can do it, because you know you are empowered. You have the skill to do it. Okay, so it's playing the God role, okay? So here, on the other hand, to developing and leading, linking team to broader. Yeah, here in the traditional management school, the team actually has no identity, has no autonomy, although in the empowering leadership school, the team has autonomy and can raise a lot of ideas and can brainstorm and come up with a lot of new ideas. So this is in general the difference between traditional management and empowering management. And you have to choose which school of these two you need to follow and you need to know to enhance your leadership skills. Okay, so next. Okay, we have question number 3. In question number 3, which of the following can be described as an act of delegation? Okay. A, when the leader is delegated by all employees to do all tasks. When someone in the organization is delegated to represent the company in public events. C, when employees are empowered according to their skills and abilities to carry out tasks, have authority and make decisions on behalf of their managers, organizations. D, the answer is B and C. So what do you think? Okay, great, great. Okay, yes, it's B and C. So it was a bit of a tricky question. Okay, some people may think, I know, I'll tell you what's tricky about this question. Some people may think that when someone in the organization is delegated to represent the company in public events, some people may think that this is not a kind of real delegation, although it is. It is absolutely, it is a form of delegation because you are representing the company in a public event. So you are the image of your organization. So you have to behave in a certain way. You have to do networking in a certain way, to have to link with people. So it's absolutely a type of delegation. So the answer is B and C. Okay, so C is when employees are empowered according to their skills and abilities to carry out tasks, have authority, and make decisions on behalf of their managers and organization. Yes. Okay, so great. Thank you for your answers. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Okay, so here is everything you need to know about the process of delegation. Well, delegation, if implemented in a spontaneous, sporadic way, it will be a catastrophe. Providing delegation empowers employees, yes, it is, but it has to be done in an organized, well-studied way. It can never be spontaneous. It can never be random. Okay? Why? Why it can never be random or spontaneous? I tell you something. If you have 10 employees, if you have 10 employees, do all the 10 employees have the same skills, the same abilities, the same educational background, the same social background? Do they have the same? Absolutely. Yes, you're right. They are absolutely different. 10 employees with different experiences, different backgrounds, different educational backgrounds, different corporate backgrounds, different personalities, different abilities. So definitely, are you going to give or to provide the same level of delegation to all these 10 employees, the same level of delegation to them all? Of course not. So you will provide a certain level of delegation to each employee upon assessment, upon assessing his or her talent, skills, abilities, and experience. So some people, okay, I have an employee who is very, very good in writing reports, but he hates numbers. He doesn't want to work with numbers at all, exactly like me. And we have another employee who is very clever with numbers, but he hates reports. He hates report writing. Okay. So when I'm distributing tasks and providing delegation, I will definitely give this guy who loves writing reports, I will definitely give him the task of writing reports. And I will definitely go for this guy who loves numbers, give him the budgeting part. We'll give him something to do with numbers because he's clever with numbers. What if I do the opposite? If I do the opposite, the task will not get done. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that's why the delegation process should never ever be spontaneous. Okay, you want delegation? Okay, go take delegation. Okay, no, it never goes this way. Okay, so let's go through this cycle. See what's our first circle here. Evaluate and review. Evaluate and review. evaluate and review. I will say it so many times because this is the most important step through which you are going to build a lot on. Okay, so evaluate and review your employees, and upon the evaluation and the assessment, you will choose appropriate task to provide to each employee according to the results of the assessment. Choose the appropriate person. Okay, so choose the appropriate task with the appropriate person. It's kind of matching together the task with the person. Okay, I have here a task that requires number. Oh yes, come on, I have an assessment here of someone who is very clever with numbers and he has experience with numbers. So we will make matching with these two profiles, with the task and the person. Okay, set clear objectives. What exactly you want, from them, what you want them to achieve. Okay, then implement. And you as a leader, you have to monitor that the implementation process is going through the right direction. Okay, and finally you start again and go to evaluate and review. Okay, and you can evaluate or review of the process itself after you provide delegation. You can evaluate and review the achievement, the progress of your employees. Were they good when they were given delegation? You can evaluate you can evaluate the implementation of the different tasks. Were they successful when they were given delegation? Had they implemented what they were requested to implement? So this is the cycle that we have, the delegation cycle that we have. We'll go through the principles of empowerment. This slide is very important. It summarizes the main principles of empowerment. Number one, here we have share information widely so people realize what's going on. You know, an employee, any employee, even students, employees, we hate to have the feeling of being, I'm sorry to say it, of being objects in the organization. In an organization, we are not objects to tell me do this, then I do it. Okay, so we are humans, we have minds to think. So we need to always be informed. Where are we heading? I definitely understand that within a certain organization that there are secrets that should never be shared sometimes, or secrets can be shared with different degrees according to the different managerial levels. Although employees within an organization always need to be well informed to know where the organization is heading and what is exactly requested from them to achieve. That's why a very important department now in all multinational organization is a communication department. And communication department is divided into internal communication and external communication. The role of internal communication is to communicate to be the link of communication between the management of the organization and the employees, so that the employees feel ownership, feel that they're not objects. They are aware of everything going on in the organization. They have a say in things that are going within the organization. Number two, let people solve problems when and where they occur instead of coming to you. Yes, exactly. You will never be an empowering leader except when you give them the chance to solve a problem. So it's very easy whenever someone comes to you to solve a problem and you know the answer, so you provide the answer and that's it. Okay, but believe me, learning has to be hard. If he learns it the hard way, he will learn it forever. Okay, if he learned it the easy way, he will forget it, and every time he will come back to you and ask you because it's an easy solution. Okay. Three, let those who have to implement a decision participate in making that decision. Yeah, it will be also very good. So instead of just going, okay, we decided on so and so, and you have to go and implement this. If you can get your employees involved in the decision-making process, they will feel, again, they will feel ownership, and they will see the big picture, and they will understand where they are situated within the big puzzle. Finally, expand the scope of what people do through designated roles and responsibilities. Exactly. Clear roles and clear responsibilities should be distributed among all team members. Okay, hope you're still awake, and I hope I'm not talking too much, and hope that you're not sleeping by now. Okay, we are about to finish, but let's know how can we make empowerment happen? How can we implement this? Again, I think we discussed it before, but we need again to stress on this information, that to make empowerment happen, to be an empowering leader, to implement empowerment within an organization, you have to assess readiness. Is this person ready for delegation? Is this person ready for empowerment? Does this person have the appropriate skill to carry a certain task? Okay, the importance of the task, distribution of the importance of the important tasks should be given to those with certain experience, certain mindset, certain personalities, and that's why the assessment phase is very important. Maturity and experience of the individual, absolutely, it varies from one person to another, and also the maturity and experience definitely decide on what type of task should be implemented. Willingness of the individual to take on more responsibility. You provide a responsibility for a certain employee, and you feel that this employee is not really doing well with this responsibility, is not doing well with this task, he's hardly doing it, facing a lot of challenges. So you have two options to make sure that this employee is doing this task very well as targeted before going to a next level, or you just ignore all this and go to next level. So he'll do horrible. If he's now bad, on the next level, he will be horrible. Okay, so make sure that you do not take a certain employee from one level to another unless you're sure that he has done the previous task exactly as expected. Okay, your confidence in the person abilities. This is empowerment. You know, it gives trust. It provides trust within a team. When employees feel that you trust their abilities, they can do miracles. So just make employees believe in themselves. No one on earth is 100% horrible, okay? And no one on earth is perfect. So absolutely each and every one of us is gifted. Yes, each and every one of us is gifted with amazing skills that the other person does not have. Okay, so let them believe in themselves. Even if they are doing a very small task, okay, let them believe that they are doing this task very well. Other people may not be doing this task, okay? And by time they learn, and by time they raise their capacity, and by time they accept and they gain more skills. Okay, so here is our fourth question. If someone has a good vision but cannot communicate it with others, would you consider him a leader? Yes or no? Yes, absolutely no. Well, what is the value of a vision if it's not communicated? It's very good and it's very important to have a vision, but you are having a vision to communicate it to others, because you are not going to achieve this vision alone on your own. You need people, you need your team, You need the whole organization to achieve this vision. Okay, so if you're not able to communicate this vision, you'll not achieve it alone. Okay, so we are talking here from organizational perspective. Okay, we're talking here from organizational perspective. You as individual, you all as individuals should have a personal mission statement as well. Yes, we as individuals, exactly like organizations, we spend the time, we spend workshops in many organizations doing strategic management, strategic planning, vision and mission. Okay, but you as individuals have to have your own personal mission statement. You know, this is one of the very important tools that whenever I meet with a client, especially in the when the coaching practice, okay, I always advise my clients to do personal mission statements. It's exactly as the mission statement for an organization, but for yourself. What's your dream? Where are you heading? What do you want to achieve? On the different aspects and areas of your life, your health, your social life, family, finances, professional life. And you can add any other fields if you have different other activities in your life. So having a personal mission statement is something very, very important. Exactly as, can you imagine an organization without a vision? An organization without goals, target to achieve? Believe it or not, it's even worse if we, on the individual levels, we do not have a mission statement. We do not have a plan. We're not planning for our lives. Okay? We will discuss this in details when we talk about emotional intelligence. Okay. We have here, how can, yes, we were talking about the vision and the importance of a leader to have a vision. So what differentiates a leader from the crowd, from other employees, is that a leader knows where we are heading, where the organization is heading, where the whole team is heading. So we call it, leadership from the balcony. You know when you are in the balcony, you can see the whole street, you can see the big picture. So a leader should be in the balcony, because a leader is the one who knows the vision and the mission. A leader is the one who knows where are we heading after 1 year. So a leader should be in the balcony, but should never, ever, ever stay the whole time in the balcony. Okay? Yes, he will stay. If he stays in the balcony, he will be isolated from colleagues, he will be isolated from all other employees within the organization. Okay? So yes, a leader's role is always to remind the team members of the big picture. A leader's role is always to remind the team members, where are we heading? A leader's role is always to remind the team members where our team fits within the big puzzle. But at the same time, within the day-to-day tasks, he does empowerment, and he helps people achieve their day-to-day task with standards, with quality standards that make sure the organization will be achieving its mission, vision, and goals. Okay, so this is in brief the leadership, what we call the leadership from the balcony. Okay, share in problem solving, share with other employees, share with other employees in the decision making process, remain aware what effect my actions have on the atmosphere. Okay, my presence as a leader, close to my colleagues and close to other employees is very important. Okay, so it's not necessarily to call me a visionary leader. If I want people to call a visionary leader, I always wonder about how we are going to be heading after 5 years, and this is my main task. And I always dream how after 5 years we're gonna be a wonderful experience, a wonderful organization. No, this will I would totally isolate myself from others. I have also to share. Okay, so I go fix some things in the street, then I go to the balcony and see, oh yes, it's fixed, but no, not well fixed. So I go back to the street, fix some problems, and then I go back to the balcony. Okay, so it goes this way. Okay. Yeah, and here our fifth question, which is, I believe, is also very important. It's, what is the importance of teamwork? Why is teamwork important? A, saving time and money for the organization, adding rich ideas and solutions, allowing employees to connect with each other, or all of the above. Okay, great. All of the above. Absolutely. So that question was just to check that we know all the important components and that make the importance of a teamwork. A, saving time and money for the organization. Absolutely. Okay. Uh, when we have a team, we can distribute tasks. A big task. So it's like a very basic rule. A big task, a huge task, if done by a team, will save time and will save money, especially when each and everyone know his or her responsibilities and role within the team. Okay, if someone insists on doing the big task, okay, it will take a lot of money and it will cost the organization a lot. Adding rich ideas and solutions, absolutely. What is the ideal way to make great ideas, to get great ideas? The ideal, the best, the more you have people brainstorming, the more you have wonderful ideas. 10 minds better than 5, better than 6, 20 minds much better, 100 minds are better. Okay, we all have different cultures, we all come from different social backgrounds, culture backgrounds, we all have different beliefs, different stereotypes. We believe we all have different families, different organizations, different ages. So can you believe, if we gather together, how creative ideas we can get out of this? We can get a lot of creative ideas. C, allowing employees to connect with each other. Yes, absolutely. We can have this link. We cannot have a link between employees except with teamwork. Okay, you are doing part and I am doing part. Okay, and we are both working for the big organization. Okay, so a leader has to think of these questions: why the team exists, what is requested from this team to achieve, what are the different roles, and what should the team be doing exactly. Okay, so I will start with this next time. Okay, so I will start with the stages of team development next time, then staff motivation, then we can go for coaching. Okay, so I really want to thank you very much, and I hope that I was not talking too much. And if you have any questions, you're most welcomed. Again, I'm really happy to be part of this, and I wish you all the best. Okay, so waiting for your questions.
Thank you very much for this extremely insightful and informative session. We really
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
it. Now I'd like to pursue with the questions of our audience. So the first question is, so we have lots of questions right now, but I'm gonna keep 5 only.
Okay.
Can you recommend the best book for the leadership?
Okay. Well, there are actually many books I recommend. Okay, so just give me a minute. Okay, I will get you. My library is just here, so I will get you some good books. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, this is one of the very most important books. Okay, it's like I think many of you may have read this book. Okay, it's the Eighth Habit for Stephen Covey, and there's also the Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. This is a life-changing book. It's very important. It's one of the must read. If you haven't read it yet, so please, you should read it. This, The Power of Habit. This is actually a new book, kind of new, like 3 4 years ago, and this book is also one of the amazing books. It's called The Power of Habit. Okay, yes, as you can see it here, this book is very important. It helps you change bad habits and build new healthy effective habits as individuals and leaders as well. And here's also one of my favorite books, which is The Best Workplace to Work. Okay, this one of my very most favorite books. It describes the workplace and how leadership affects workplace, and how people interact together within an organization. And I promise you, next time I will prepare a list of readings. Okay, I wrote it down here. Okay, there are actually other important books. I will prepare a list of readings, and I will tell you about.
Thank you very much. Our second question is, beside projects from institutes and internships, what are the extra activities that can show good examples of leadership skills?
Well, good question. You mean extra activities that a leader should be engaging in, or a leader should implement to learn? You mean, so activities that a leader should implement to make his leadership skills better?
Yeah, the second
Okay.
one.
Okay, so for those young people here in the room, I suggest that whenever there is a voluntary activity that requires volunteering, okay, you go for it. Okay, if you still don't have families, if you still don't have kids, so enjoy volunteering in activities. You will gain a lot, you will learn a lot, you will get to know new people, not necessarily to get money from. I suggest also reading. Reading is very important. Expand your social network. Know people from different cultures, from different countries, with different backgrounds, different nationalities. This will make your life very rich. I hope that I understand and I answered your question.
Thank you very much. The next question is, what are the best ways or how to deal with people acting like leaders?
Okay. Well, a good question. Some people are acting like leaders, and they are not true leaders, right? This is what you mean, right?
Exactly.
Okay, okay. Some people, fake leaders, uh, a lot, not all, a lot of fake leaders do not survive. A lot of fake leaders do not survive. Even if you see many of them getting better, getting more popular, getting more shining. But believe me, many of them do not survive a lot. But others do survive, and we don't have anything to do in hand. Yes, they do survive. You may find a fake leader at work, you may find a fake leader at the university, and you know very well that this is not the genuine example of a leader. You know what to do in this case? I will tell you my piece of advice. You do your best to be an example of a good leader. Okay? So if we all do our best to be an example of good leaders, okay, we will outnumber those fake leaders. Okay? but there is no way to totally eliminate fake leaders. You will definitely find them. This is life, okay? You will find them, but you will find good leaders as well.
Thank you very much for answering our question. And the next question is about, are a good grade or first honor class or awards considered as leadership skills?
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Maybe the answer is harsh, okay, but no. This is
Okay.
not an invitation. This is not an invitation for people to get bad grades. Absolutely no. It's very important to work hard, get honors, and get good grades. Okay. But remember, please remember, because this is very important. Remember, this is not everything. Getting honors does not mean that you are a leader. Getting honors is an amazing thing, but believe me, you still have to do a lot to learn how to be an effective leader. And we will discuss this when we talk about emotional intelligence. Okay, some leaders were not the best performers at college. Okay, but also there are many leaders who were the best performance at college. So I just want to make sure that I am clear. So I'm just not telling you that getting the best grades does not mean that you're a leader. No, it's very important, but it's not everything. You still need to work on your leadership skills.
I totally agree with you. Thank you very much. And the last question is, how to demonstrate a strong leadership skill in your CV? That's interesting for me as well.
Okay, in your CV.
Yeah.
Well, try to engage in activities. As I just mentioned, activities, try to volunteer with an NGO, charity activity, try to participate in leadership conference, do presentations. One of the very important skill for leaders, they are good presenters, that you can present in front of people well. You know how to present. You have an attractive way of presenting. So whenever you are asked to talk about something, you talk effectively. It's not about the content, it's about the way you present. So try to engage in several activities. Being part of a sport or a team, going to practice a certain sport. For example, I do scuba diving, for example. Okay, and I learned teamwork, and when I learned scuba diving, because we always dive within a group. Okay, and it's very important to connect together to make sure that everything is under control, and we every single a member of the diving team is not facing any problem. We should be caring about the security of each other. We check the security and we check the equipment for each one another, because they are all on our backs. We cannot check our equipment. So we let our partners, we let the team check our equipment. So we depend on each other. I'm just not directing you to learn scuba diving, although it's an amazing, magnificent activity, but try to get engaged in similar activities. Try to learn something new. Go for an acting class, theater class, painting class. So they all add to your personality.
Thank you very much for answering our question with a special attention. And we really appreciate it. It was really, really nice lecture. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
and
Rahima,
the guys,
very much. Thank you, Dr. Ahmed, and thank you everybody who attended today. It was a great pleasure for me.
Thank you very much. Also, please, guys, do not forget finish and submit your quizzes before the deadline. Moreover, you can rewatch this lecture again from our YouTube channel. Please subscribe us, and thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Mohamed, and stay safe, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.